Hey everyone, Scan here from glhf.tv, here to bring you some more changes to Arcade Edition. So without further ado, let's start Volume 2 of AE Changes. Both Ryu and Ken have seen some interesting changes done to their movesets that give them a few more options than they had beforehand. Ryu, of course, as I covered last video, can no longer Tatsu escape. One of his first changes is that his solar plexus into Shoryuken now does less damage, but he has a new option. His close standing hard kick can now combo into a Shoryuken with proper timing. His standing medium kick at close range also does 10 more damage now, 80 as opposed to 70 in Super. And now in an interesting change, his far standing medium punch is special cancelable. A lot of the hitbox data for Ken was buffed severely. His target combo and his crouching light punch are most notable in this regard. But he can also now cancel from a crouching medium punch, which gives him a ton more options than he used to have before.
If you're an Able player, you might find it just a little bit more difficult to defeat your opponent than before, while Akuma was given a new trick or two. The first thing an Able player might notice is that the hitbox for his crouching fierce punch has been changed. Your opponent now has to be much closer for both hits to confirm. The damage for his tornado throw was also nerfed, and at the end of his Marseille roll, you'll find that it's much easier to punish. But probably the most notable change to Able is the overall damage reduction to both of his ultras. Both damage outputs were reduced by 10%. Akuma's medium punch Shoryuken now has more invincibility on Wake Up, but his real new trick comes in the form that the hitbox for his Ultra 2 is now extended further down if it is used after a teleport. You can combo into it, it just takes extremely precise and extremely fast input speeds. While Zangief may have received what might be the most ridiculous buff I've ever seen in a fighting game, that doesn't mean you should forget about other grapplers like T.Hawk. His EX palm no longer knocks down, but his major buff comes in the form of his light punch spinning pile driver. You can see here that T.Hawk is clearly out of the range of both light attacks and both the super and ultra forms of his spinning pile driver, but his light punch spinning pile driver still connects. T.Hawk can now EX Condor dive from anywhere on the screen by pressing all three kicks. He has also had a bit of a frame buff to all of his standing fierce kicks. And his Condor Spire now has more meter gain upon activation. It also has a bigger hitbox on its light punch version. His Raging Slash was also given a faster startup so you can catch opponents when they are closer to the ground than beforehand. If you're a Guile player, all I can say is, I'm sorry for your loss. While DJ has so many changes, I could make an entire video about him. Guile's flash kick damage has been nerfed across all three versions of his flash kick, but at the same time you'll find that his Sonic Boom does almost no meter gain now. 5 Sonic Booms done in this short clip, and you can see his meter isn't even a quarter full. The damage of his Ultra 2 was nerfed so much, it's basically useless now. DJ has more lower body invincibility now on his light kick rolling Sabat, so you can punish with it pretty well. His standing medium kick also now does 2 hits, so it's good to use that against focusing opponents. Faster recovery on his Ultra 2, different properties to his sliding kick, more damage to his machine gun upper, you just have to try him. Blanka has seen an interesting change or two across the board, but Sagat players are going to find they're basically playing with the exact same character. EX Lightning startup on Blanka has been sped up, so it's better to use on encroaching opponents. But the priority and distance of EX Rainbow Ball have both been reduced. The recovery distance from his Blanka balls is now entirely dependent on which button you press. The harder the button you press, the closer you will end up landing to your opponent after a Blanka ball. Sagat has barely seen any changes at all. His close standing light kick now deals just a little bit more damage, but more importantly, his Tiger Uppercut now deals more damage on startup. Also, the input for his Angry Scar is now on kick button. Again, I'd just like to thank everybody for your constant support. Please follow us on both Facebook and Twitter to find out more about when our next videos will be released.